we're expecting some harsh winds to come again today. Let's see if it's as crazy as last time. And what did I read today? How about this one? When it comes to drones for the Canadian Armed Forces here, it says they're not going to get, I guess, things like FPV drones. This one says, no plans to buy first-person drones for Canadian Armed Forces. Kind of like they indicated here in the news, places like Ukraine and Russia have been using FPV drones a lot, and it says first-person view drones have transformed the modern battlefield, but the Canadian military has confirmed it has no plans to buy the low-cost aerial vehicles. The first-person view drones allow the pilot to see from the drone's perspective in real time, usually through a headset. The systems, which can cost less than $500, are currently being widely used in the Russia-Ukraine war as well as fighting in Gaza and Lebanon. The US Army has been conducting experiments with FPVs with a plan to have a program in place next year and the first units equipped with the systems by 2026. But the Canadian Armed Forces says it won't be embracing FPV technology at this point. So is there any reason for that? Because you would think you should train and equip your armed forces with the tech that's going to help them win in the event that you have to go to a war. Unfortunately, as an example, it says, at this time, the Department of National Defense Canadian Armed Forces does not have any current or planned procurements for first-person view drones for operational use. Department spokesperson Alex Tetros said in an email, however, in our North Strong and Free strategy, we committed to exploring options for acquiring a suite of surveillance and strike drones as well as counter-drone capabilities sometime in the future. With that, they do mention they are using other drones like these Teal 2 drones, which I've read before, and it makes me wonder too, just in terms of that cost, are we 100% dependent in importing these tech, like making FPV drones? I would imagine there's a lot of people who could actually make it themselves too, correct? I know in Ukraine there were stories where it was literally hobbyists, for example, making FPV drones that are being used in war and so forth. So is there anything like that in Canada? This would be one of those examples. Again, you fearmonger the hobby and so forth, ban them all. Pretty soon you'll have no one growing up learning the tech in any single way, and then when you need it, okay, now what are you gonna do, correct? Unfortunately, that's been the case here in Canada, where a lot of people have that attitude of, I don't care, get off my lawn, I just like it the way it is, instead of embracing new tech, encouraging the new generations. It's one of those things too. I guess you're against it when you don't think it affects you, but as soon as someone could save your life with it, now you're okay with it. Well, it's a little too late, so you gotta start thinking about that right now. And with that thought of military drones and stuff like that in other countries, how about this one, where in recent times you've heard the company Skydio make a lot of news in terms of making drones and so forth for things like military applications. But how about this one? This one says, Red Cat wins US Army next-gen drone contract over Skydio. Red Cat Holdings Inc. this week announced that it won the US Army Short Range Reconnaissance, or SRR program of record contract. The company replaced Skydio on this contract. The US Army set an initial acquisition target of 5,880 systems over a 5-year period. Skydio first earned this contract in 2021. At the time, it was valued at $99.8 million with a base year value of $20.2 million. While the company did compete for the contract this time around with its X-10D drone, the Army said Red Cat's system was more aligned with its requirements. This is a powerful moment in time, coming after 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears put into SRR by our incredible team, stated George Mattis, Chief Technology Officer of Red Cat and founder of Teal, a subsidiary of Red Cat, which is the drone that was mentioned before. The long-awaited production selection marks a new era for our company and the future of American drones. So I guess in that sense, with all that talk always of the US being relied on Chinese-made drones and all that, where a lot of consumers, they use things like DJI drones. When it comes to things more military-oriented, is the US actually advancing pretty well in that regards? Pretty soon you'll have a lot of these companies just abandoning the consumer market completely, huh? Just too much red tape, and at the same time they could win big contracts like these, so you can imagine they would want to focus on stuff like that anyways. And again, with that wind warning, apparently again they're trying to prepare people, because in some areas people got it really bad. And this one here says, new BC storm brings 100 kilometers an hour winds, with some Vancouver Island homes still in the dark. BC Hydro is warning customers in remote areas of Vancouver Island that they may be without power until late Saturday as winds from another powerful storm hit the coast. The latest in a series of fall storms has brought gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour, but Environment Canada says it isn't as strong as the bomb cyclone that knocked out power to more than 300,000 properties this week. BC Hydro says crews have reinstated power to most customers, but small pockets on Vancouver Island may still be blacked out until Saturday evening. Yeah, it's okay. Again, around this area, you see like a bunch of trees and stuff knocked down. Some power went out just for like a couple of seconds or maybe minutes, but overall it was okay. So let's see what happens, I guess. All right, see you guys later.